Amanda's Parade and Parade Handmade. I have a lot going on at the moment, but I'm going to break it down for you so you can decide if it's for you or not. I've got into my art again, as you might know, and I'm going well on that. So I'm kind of, it spurs me on to get myself organized and get my things done in an orderly fashion, and in a timely fashion, so that I can then leave myself a day free, which I did yesterday, to really indulge in the whole creative feeling, because I found that I can't do both in the same day. Not really. So this morning I was dealing with a promotion and I enjoyed it. It was quite intense. And a promotion of one of our suppliers for Parade Handmade, and she is doing, her name is Noreen Sadler, and she is doing an exhibition. She has an exhibition open in Westport, County Mayo at the moment. So I just wanted to do promote her. Basically, we have her cards and we have some of her work, and just I love to support artists because, well, I am one myself, but besides that, I just think they could do with as much support as they can get. And since we're all collaborating together, I'm doing a thing for Noreen, so we're promoting her, and I'll get into the details about that later. So yeah, so my own painting, then there was Noreen's promotions and also with blogs and things like that, shooting the YouTube thingy. I decided to change the position today because it's just to change it up for you and just to make it more interesting for myself and to loosen myself up with regard to backgrounds and that. I realized I don't really have to have this blank background that I always obsess about, because I can do those little bubbly things, so that might work for me. I'm hoping that might work for me. The other thing was a Shopify issue, an actual website issue, and it's not so much with Shopify but with the app. The app I spoke about last week, which was the search bar, rapid search, and I implemented it and I was delighted, and I'll explain all what happened with that. And nothing bad, something good, but there's that. And then just other little makey things that I've been doing. I'm going to shoot some jewellery later, and I have some more product in from Shoreline, so that needs to get shot, and I'm trying to pace myself. So today I'm going to shoot a little video here for you, and then I'm going to shoot a little bit of photography before the light fails. And tomorrow's Friday, I'm going to do a little bit of, some of that work tomorrow, like the newsletter and things like that, but that's okay. I tell myself that's okay. You see, I can speed up just like that. I wonder, are you the same? Just kind of like a racing car going down a hill. So yeah, so I'm going to break it up. So see y'all later. First up is just a little chat about my own artwork. Not promoting my own artwork, but just to talk about, I thought initially it was because I was going so fast that I wasn't giving enough time or slowing down enough. It's part of it as to why I couldn't move forward, and I was having this huge block about getting creative. But what it actually turns out to be is, besides the speed thing, like you can see sometimes I get too fast and I need to kind of back up a little bit, and I try to say too much and I have to back up a bit. But I realized through having now had a few days, like I had a lot of them before when I was just younger and had more time, there's another element of the whole thing where I find it quite emotional to be in that arty space, that mindset where it's not like admin mindset where you're like, yes, tickety boo, tick, 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 do that, focus. It's just a more dreamy and a more, for me, and I'm sure it's the same for a lot of other creators, whatever they're doing, whether it's painting or some other kind of form of expression, it's an emotional thing. So you have to allow yourself not just the time, but allow yourself to be or feel your emotions, which you might conveniently shove away at other times. So that was what I realized this week. I had a very emotional day, the day that I figured out how to get through that block I was having, that I didn't even know I was having. But when I started painting and gave myself the time and I was in it and in that dreamy, I was really teary that day. And I was like, what? Is it just because of the break? Is it just because I have Enya on, which is really beautiful and emotive? It was probably a mixture of the whole lot, but it made me feel very emotional. So you have to be brave enough to get into that area if you want to express yourself through your art. So I find that it's a totally different experience to illustrating a happy fairy tale. Part of that is emotion too, but it's a different set of emotions. It's not just a blank canvas of emotion, which is what your own personal art is going to be. So that's my art. So the rapid search issue, that's an app. It's great. It's a search bar if your theme doesn't have it in Shopify, or if you don't like the search bar or the search arrangement, or if you're not on a plan that allows for filtering, etc., etc. You can download this app. It's free, and then you can use the facility. I still have the app, but what I found was I've set up the app, and although I'm not paying on that to filter, my plan allows me to put up the prices, the amount of pieces that are left in anything, etc., etc. And it's really helpful. And there's just a little icon on the side. You can click it, and then the person can it has preemptive text and things like this. Other things in there that are really, really helpful. I like it. Go check it out if you're looking for something like that. But I'm not affiliated, by the way. But I did run into a little glitch for which I had great help. I just got on that little chat button, which I resist really. I always try to find out in the documentation if I can do it myself, but I just decided I was going to just bite the bullet and do it, because there's a lot of little jobbies like that kind of getting backed up. So I said, just do them as you think about them. Don't put them on a list. So I just popped the button and I said, hi, I'm having an issue with what's happened is I created a few collections. Now, normally I create a collection, let's say for Noreen Sadler, this lady I want to promote. I want to put a collection together for her and then link to it from the various channels, the blog and this and that and the other, and the link tree and such. But basically it was coming up on the back end of the site where I was creating the collection, but then when you'd look at it from a public's perspective, it wasn't showing up on the website. It was showing up empty, and that was an issue. And I thought it was something I was doing, of course. And so I was looking and looking and looking, and I couldn't find. Eventually, after going through all the documentation, I decided just press the button and talk to someone. Well, talk by text. Somebody there within about 2 minutes, less maybe. A guy called Matt. He was really good. Asked me what my trouble was, told him what it was. And basically it was something to do with, we thought it was to do with the filters. If you just cancel out the filters, it syncs. But if you cancel out the filters, it will sync quicker. So what happened was, I said, thanks very much. I got on to the app through the Shopify admin, and just went into filters, and I realized the plan I don't have filters, but I had pressed the something to do at the top to choose to do the filtering, or the color of the filters or something like that. But then of course didn't choose the filters because it said that my plan didn't cover it. But I had that little button, that little toggle pressed to do with filters, and that was affecting it. So when I took that off, all my collections that I've just now, the gardening one, the one for Nuala Brett King, the one for Noreen Sadler, filled, and all was well. So I thanked the guy and Matt and got on with it. So it was so easy fixed, and sometimes it's so worthwhile just to go and just ask somebody for help. Victory. So now, one of my little issues, personal issues, would be, I was explaining last week about some things that I find easy and sometimes I find difficult. I was saying that publicity and that is tricky for me, for which I am actually thinking of a solution about for now. But anyway, this is another thing for me. I get very excited about something I want to do, and too many ideas come rushing through, and I can sit there and get brain fog. That could be a thing of the stage of my life that I'm at, you might guess. And there's also a few other things at work there, but it can happen to me sometimes, and it can spring on me like a surprise. But I think what happened to me today was I sat down to do it, and I did write down, do this. So I'll tell you what I wanted to do. I have a blog. I wanted to write a blog. I'm learning how to do the blogs better. As I mentioned, I downloaded a course, paid for and downloaded a course online from a lady who is very, very good. I'll tell you more about that another time. So with that, I wanted to work on the blog with Noreen Sadler, and I looked and I thought, oh, I haven't done it. I got information from Noreen before we did a little interview about her past and that, and I wanted to feature that on the blog. Then I went in to look and I couldn't see the old blog. I thought, I don't think I did it at all. So proceeded to start the new blog. There was no, and I realised the old blog was there on another page. I've done a lot more blogs than I realised, and I just hadn't seen it. Fine. So I thought, that's grand, one bit of work done, I'll just alter it. So I wanted to get that blog out and alter it a little bit. I wanted to make, I have a photograph of Noreen in front of some of her work at her new exhibition in Westport. She's running an exhibition during the Thankyou, Mayo Thankyou 23. Now she runs longer. It runs till the end of May, her exhibition in the Cloubet Hotel. So I wanted to make a little Canva design using her image and such. I did that. Then I wanted to do a social media post about that. But first I wanted to get the blog in situ, and then I want to create an offer in relation to that so that the newsletter subscribers could subscribe and get a special offer to Noreen Sadler's work. So there's a special offer going to be on. It's on currently for her cards. So you can buy 4 or 5 cards but only pay for 4, and it's only open to members, and they're art cards, so they're pretty special and they're relevant for the moment. So it's a good idea for me to put on this little offer, and it's a good idea for me on her behalf to put on this little offer. We have an arrangement that we can do that. So as you can see, the brain is kind of going, do, what do you do first? What do you do first? This is where I'd love to go, okay, marketing section, could you do this for me? You've got it. You know, they'd have that in, that'll be their nature. They would just know immediately what to do first, where to focus on, and how to go about it. And I know how to go about it, but I just get really flummoxed as to, you can see the way I'm talking. It just, and all of this kind of stresses me out. So I sat down this morning, I wrote down what I needed to do. Of course, I was getting new ideas as I was doing it. But finally, I got it all done. I have the discount created. I have the deals page updated. I have the homepage updated where where you can subscribe to say that if you subscribe, you can get this deal. And it's only running to the end of May, so I have to take it out of all these places. I mention it on my YouTube channel now. I've mentioned it in the blog, and I put links to it in the blog, and I want to put links to everything in everywhere else. And Linktree, I have links there, and I kind of rearranged those. So as you can see, you can get into quite a little tangle, and this is where it would be lovely to have a promotions or marketing department to let them handle that. But I suppose it's a good challenge as well. It's not like I don't know how. Dealt with a little rapid search issue because of the collections, they weren't showing up, and I was worried about making a link to Noreen's cards in the blog if the person wanted to buy them, having already signed up through the link on the blog, and then they couldn't because there was no thing. So that is where the issue with rapid search came up, and that I am delighted it's been solved, and I'm delighted with the help that I received. So if there's any questions about that, let me know. I'm not entirely sure that was entirely clear to everybody as to what was going on, but basically you can see the kind of tangles you can get if you are a single business owner running a website on your own, a person like me who's actually naturally more creative than that. Ta-da! So the upshot of the week is that since I've allowed myself get back into my own personal art, I just feel more grounded and more myself, and I'm lighter and I'm happier, and I've got more energy for the things that I'm not that keen on, or at least I think I'm not that keen on until I'm doing them, and then I'm very focused. But they wouldn't be my first loves. I don't love admin, I don't love typing, I don't love editing and all of that, but I like the fact I can do it. I like the fact that I can do it and I don't have to pay someone else to do it because I couldn't afford that, and therefore I couldn't have it, and all of that. But I'm so pleased that I've taken that time and made the time, and not just the time, as I was saying, given myself permission to stay with the other emotions that aren't this full energy, I am an expert and this is how I do it mode. It's not really a mode that I want to be in, and I'm not in that I'm an expert guru mode, as you can probably notice. But that the energy that it takes, I like to come down in energy and just let emotions come forth and just wallow in those. and not be running away from those, be they positive or negative or worrisome or anxieties or past hurts or current hurts or loves or passions or whatever comes out, sadnesses, regrets if there are any, or all those things that the emotions can just pass through you, and you don't have to run away from them because you have to get focused and snappy about making sure that you have your dots on your I's and crosses on your T's. So I encourage everybody and anybody who really feels the urge to create and wants to create something and has doubts or has worries or has issues with time. It doesn't take very much time, in fact. It just takes you to allow yourself, it's just self-care. This is a new phrase, but it is self-care, and it is allowing yourself a little bit of time just to kind of be yourself, that kid that's inside you that was just kicking around when you were young, doing your thing. You can do that now, even for 10 minutes, 20 minutes, an hour. And even if you come up with nothing, it really doesn't matter, but it really just frees you up inside. A bit like journaling. I haven't done journaling much. Other people are big into journaling, and I can see why. So there you go. So I wish you all the best with whatever you're doing this week, and I hope you got a little bit of something out of my video this week. And yeah, so I'll see y'all next week. Like and subscribe if you think you've anything of interest here. And yeah, that's it for It's a Wrap, as they say.